What is good, YouTube? It's your boy D Murray. This is D Murray Reacts, where we react to your favorite videos, Reddit posts, and news. We are at it again. We got another video for you guys today. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate it. Also, gotta remember to hit that bell notification so you know when we're dropping these videos 2 times a week. Today, we're going with another Am I the Asshole? The one that we have today is posted by Flykster. They're asking, am I the asshole for asking my friend to return an expensive gift I bought him because his wife doesn't like me? Sure. Why doesn't she like you? I guess we got to figure out why she doesn't like you. Also, like, what did you buy him? Depends on what you bought him. And where are you returning it to? I had a lot of questions. This seems like it's a fairly long one, and it looks like there's an update at the end. So those are always pretty good. So we're going to start off. I, 23 female, have been friends with my best friend, a 24 male, for over 10 years. All right. So that's already somewhat unacceptable to some people's relationships, but let's continue. I ain't judging. I'm not judging. For background information, he and I have never had any romantic attraction or relationship, and we are both married to our respective partners. When he first got married to his wife, seemed completely okay with our friendship. That is until she met me. Sounds like some women shit to me. I was nothing but kind to her, so I'm not sure why this sudden switch happened. She told him immediately that he could no longer talk to me, so I respected that and stepped away. So I'm guessing maybe you might be a somewhat attractive woman, and maybe she's threatened by you. Maybe he, you know, when he told her about you, you ended up not being necessarily what he said you were. Because like I said, man, I mean, a female-male friendship, and then you add marriage into the equation, that's normally not a thing that I think is people are down for. But says a few months later, he reached out to me and said she was fine with the relationship again, and everything was smooth sailing until a few weeks ago. Back in January, I had decided to purchase him a Switch Lite for his birthday in September. So she bought him a Nintendo gaming console. I think those are like $200. So I think you get one of those for like $200. So she bought him $200 present. You know, I don't know what kind of presents they be giving each other, but this one was about $200. I knew he had always wanted one, but he and his wife don't make a huge income currently, and she hates when he spends money on game related things. All right, so now we are going to get to the root of this. If the wife already doesn't like that, and then you're the friend that she didn't want him hanging out with anyway, and then for his birthday you buy him something game related which she doesn't want him spending money on in the first place, problems. I can already see where this is going, but we're gonna continue. I want more to the story because there's you know a couple more paragraphs, so we'll see. It says that, you know, I guess she asked to make sure that the wife was okay with it and that she wasn't crossing any lines or boundaries, because that's the last thing that she ever wanted to do. He assured me 100 times over the coming months that it was all right with him and his wife. You don't know that. You don't know if he talked to his wife. He might have been like, Switch Light, hell yeah. I don't care how she feels about it. And then you give it to him, and then, you know, she's salty. Like, you have no idea. But I'll tell you this. The fact that you asked already leads me to know that you thought that it was probably going to be an issue, which it seems like it ended up being. I tried to reach out on different social media platforms to his wife just so she would know that I wasn't trying anything malicious, but they were all promptly declined. That should have already gave you your understanding of how the wife felt already. September rolls around, I hand him off the gift. It was a brief exchange in a public place, but he barely said so much as a thank you before driving away because he has to find somewhere to hide this Switch. That's the reason why he ain't say much, because in his mind, he's thinking about, where can I hide a gaming console? It ain't necessarily that big, probably about that big, but he's trying to figure out where he can hide a gaming console somewhere in the house where the wife don't see, because 1, she don't want him having a gaming console. 2, she don't want anything from you. So there are 2 issues with this situation. Also, I'd be willing to bet she don't know that he even met up with you. But we're not done. We're not done, so we'll see. That night, he texted me saying his wife refuses to talk to him. I'm sure that she does. And after that, I didn't hear from him despite many attempts to reach out. I let it slide, figuring he would have reached out to me eventually. I experienced some of the worst few weeks of my life recently and could have really used my friend, but I didn't want to overstep anything, so I left it alone. It seems like once he got married, like y'all was still friends, but you weren't as good of friends because of the wife. So like, do you not have other friends, or like, is it just that he's a particular friend for you? I think some of this is kind of coming from the fact that you may not be like, I'm not assuming that she's jealous of the other wife, but I do think that there's a certain level of animosity over the friendship that they had, maybe that they don't have anymore. So fast forward to a few days ago, my friend reached out to my husband to ask if I hated him. That's weird. I don't know why he wouldn't just reach out to you. My husband said no, but advised him that he should probably reach out to me with an explanation, which would be my response as well. Like, why wouldn't you not talk to her? He did not do that. Instead, he texted my husband a long paragraph stating his wife was extremely upset with me and that I crossed several lines. I'm gonna go into this here in a moment. When my husband pressed that he could have said no to the gift, which he could have, he tried to say I wouldn't let him say no, which was completely untrue. Which I believe. I don't believe that. I come to find out his wife did not actually okay the gift, but he wanted it, so he lied his way into figuring out everything would turn out in his favor. Of course, because he got that shit home, and then he took it out the box, and he said to himself, "I'm only gonna play it when she's sleeping." But it just overwhelmed him, and he had to just show her right then and just get it over with. And then she probably lost her mind on him over that. So he could have came up with a better way to explain how that thing entered the house, but that's on him. So feeling frustrated and used, I texted him saying, asking him to return the gift to me as it had caused so many issues, and he was talking like he never wanted it in the first place. He thinks I'm being unreasonable and is begging me to let him keep it. I don't even know why he's begging you to let him keep it. I'm not this guy, and I'm not saying that this guy is right, but I ain't giving you a damn thing back. Look, you gave it to me. I understand, like, if you upset about the situation, and rightly so, I think that she should be. You know what I'm saying? This dude, he didn't do the right thing. But at this point, you asking for it back, does that make you feel better? Like, I guess what you gonna take it back, get your 200 back? Like, you ain't getting your friend, which is what you really want. So what you're doing is you're doing something else to try to make up for that. That ain't the move. That ain't none of y'all gonna feel better about that. His wife also attempted to reach out to let him keep the Switch as well, which is hilarious to me because now the wife is reaching out to try to keep it because he told the wife that you wanted it back, and then he told her that, and then she was automatically like, oh no, she can't have that back. She already gave that to you. That's your Switch. And then now magically this nigga could play Mario Kart at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with no repercussions. I'm not saying that it's my house. I'm not saying I know what's going on in there, but I can only assume that he has downloaded and been playing Mario Kart on a regular basis since you got him this Switch. It says that she says she stood her ground and asked and basically said she wants it returned. Is she an asshole? Now there's an update to this, right? So after reading the comments and taking a few days to consider things, she says she's decided that fighting for the gift is not worth her breath. At the end of the day, it is not my responsibility to salvage his marriage. Let me tell you, his marriage was salvaged the moment that you asked for it back. You might not know that. You might not understand that. Seems like y'all are in your early 20s, so you're a little younger, but you might not know that's what happened. But essentially, the moment you did that, she was right back on his side. Right back on his side. So you ain't got to worry about that. He lied to me, his wife, and attempted to lie to my husband. I would love to know how your husband feels about it. Like, you buying this dude $200, you must have a little money that your husband's just like, oh yeah, go ahead, buy him that, go ahead, do it. He's your friend, and somehow he can reach out to your husband and everything. So this is somewhat of a weird situation. He's not worth my time and energy. I've let him know that the friendship is over and requested he nor his wife reach out to me in the future. I don't need people like that in my life. Thanks everyone for the support and kind comments. I feel much less alone now. All right, so let's go ahead and just go with the last thing that you said. You were never alone in the first place. You have a husband, lady. And I'm not saying that you're necessarily an asshole for this situation, but you have a husband. So I'm not saying that if you're married, you can't have friends outside your marriage and they can't help you in the life that you live. But the fact of the matter is that you were never alone in the first place. Maybe you were going through, you said you had some worst weeks of your life. Maybe that involved your husband. I don't know because you didn't say. But in the end, you are married. So the idea that you needed him for something, it really was only maybe based upon the fact that y'all was friends for such a long time. So because you were friends for such a long time, it was something that you cherished and you felt good about, and then you lost a friend. It sucks when you lose a friend. We all lose friends. You're only 24, right? So you're 20, you 23, he 24. Right? We'll just say you both 24. Guess what? Y'all about to lose some more friends. If you at 24 and you think that that's the last friend you're going to lose, I have news for you. As time goes on, you have kids, you're already married. As things continue to progress in your life, friends are going to come and go. You're going to meet new friends. You're going to meet new people. All kinds of things are going to change. You shouldn't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you should have bought him the game console in the first place. Aside from the money, it could have been $1,000. Who cares? I don't really think that you should have bought it for him in the first place because it seemed like your friendship was somewhat rocky. And maybe you did that because you wanted to try to mend it. But you can't mend a friendship like that with gifts, especially when someone is married to a person who obviously does not like you, whether you're a good person or not. Irrelevant. So it's not an asshole move necessarily to ask for it back because you kind of felt a certain kind of way. You definitely didn't destroy his relationship. I can assure you that. You definitely you messed it up a little bit when you gave it to him, but the moment you asked for it back, you fixed all of that. But him and his wife, they got some other issues going on because he met up with you at some point in time, which I'm guessing she didn't know. He took a gift from you, which I'm sure she didn't know about, and the gift happened to be something that she didn't want him to have anyway. I also would argue that him as a grown-ass man at 24 should have some conversations with his wife about him being able to play video games if that's truly what he wants to do, because y'all is way too young to be having arguments like that. Maybe if you're playing him too much or something like that, but it seems like you don't even get to play him at all, so he sneaking around a Switch Lite just in order to try to get a little something in, right? So you should have never bought it for him. You shouldn't have asked for it back, but it doesn't necessarily make you an asshole. It'll be fine. People come and go out in all of our lives, and we just got to deal with that. But you're not alone, lady. You got a husband. I'm sure that you have other friends. It seems like you had other friends. I'm sure he has other friends. Maybe down the road, y'all might end up being friends again. I would argue that if he's still with this lady, probably not. You'll probably never be friends ever again. But if for some reason she ends up changing her mind, and for some reason, if you end up changing your mind, there is a chance that maybe you and him might be friends again. But the fact of the matter is that we are not in high school, ladies and gentlemen. We are adults now. And as adults, adult things are going to happen. And sometimes that means that someone that is close to you may not be close to you anymore. And you just got to deal with that. That is how it is. So this one was pretty decent. It was a little more of a long one. We want to thank you guys for checking us out again. Once again, we're doing this 2 times a week. Seems like it's Wednesdays and Fridays, but if you hit the notification button, if something drops on Tuesday, then you know. Also got to hit the like and subscribe. We really appreciate that. Let us know if there's anything else that you want us to take a look at, go over. I think we're probably going to be doing a little relationship advice because it seems like some of these are kind of along that line, and I've had some people ask for that. So I might start doing a little more relationship advice type stuff and kind of see how that goes. And I promise as soon as I can get the video thing worked out, I'm going to start doing videos. But there's some things I got to work out in order to make that work. So once again, like and subscribe, notification bell. We appreciate it. I am D. Murray. And this is D. Murray Reacts.